the disconnect between the OGs and the younger generation is important to talk about because you guys don't have. I mean, well, no, I'm not gonna say you guys because you're definitely an old soul historian.
We're the middle childs, I believe.
I would say so, but you don't have that icon to pull from like Jordan, Kobe. You know what I mean? Ken Griffey Jr., P. Rod. These are staples in our time. So people who got into sneakers maybe were in love with basketball, so they love Jordans. People who got into sneakers maybe were in love with skating, so they love P. Rod, and then they seen what he had on. That was the rise of Nike skating. I feel like basketball is the leader of it all, realistically. But then you go into a certain streetwear of things where you brought in Kanye, you brought in, and I'm talking Kanye Nike years. You brought in Kanye, you brought in Virgil, and just pretty much revolutionized it to where it's got to where it's
Come
got
on,
to
give
now.
them to me, baby. All right, I'm in line. The pending is the worst. Dude, I'd be happy if I got these, but I'm not getting it. I know it.
Got him. Better get him, cause I got him.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fair Game Podcast. I am C,
This is Cash.
and we are back with another episode. This podcast is about the culture, music, fashion, sports,
And all that.
a little bit of sneakers. What's good, Cash? How you doing today?
Feel good today, man.
Good to see you.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I got. Other than that, from feeling good, Super Mario Bros. Movie of the year.
Movie of the year.
Movie of the year.
Why? What gives that movie of the year vibe?
There's no misses. It's just amazing. Pure nostalgic feeling. Great storyline. Had a great plot. Had a great ending. Just
Is it
and
true to the video game?
very true to the whole vast majority of video games they have put out.
Okay.
So I'll give you this. I feel like they've touched base on each and every video game they have put out.
Spoiler.
That's about it.
Go ahead.
No,
Spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
They touch base on every game.
I feel like it. Yeah.
Mario Kart was in there, obviously.
Yeah.
Fire. The OG games?
They're all the same. It's just better graphics.
That's what I'm saying. Is there a nod to the OG games?
Yes.
Fire.
Would you understand? Did you even play the OG games? Do you even play video games?
I don't play video games that much, but I definitely played the OG game. Did you play the OG
Name
game?
one OG game.
What do you mean, Duck Hunt?
No.
Duck Hunt?
Duck Hunt is not really Nintendo like that.
What is Duck Hunt?
It's just Duck Hunt.
You feel me? Duck Hunt.
Sure, I guess. That's
Anyway.
one random game to say.
I don't want to offend the gamers. I'm not
Whatever, man. How about you, man? How you feeling?
solid, bro. Just been kicking it. Freaking yesterday. What was yesterday?
Friday?
Friday.
Yeah.
I had 2 days off actually. So on my 2 days off, I did absolutely nothing but hold. Watched a ton of TV. Finale of Snowfall. Well, the second to last episode of Snowfall. I know you don't watch Snowfall, but to all my snowfallers out there, it's getting crazy. I ain't gonna spoil it. What else?
I mean, it's already done, though, so it got crazy, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not done. There's one more episode.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
One more episode left. So it's super exciting to watch that. Other than that, I watched the Pope's Exorcist. The Exorcism of the Pope, or the Pope's Exorcist.
I think I've seen trailers.
It has I can't think of that guy's name, but super fire actor, hilarious movie. I'm not gonna lie to you, I always laugh.
I think all scary movies are like on the boundary of a comedy movie because how dumb they are.
or just exorcist movies. Like every time they get into the possession and they start like talking in a different voice, like that's probably like one of my favorite parts. I remember I was watching this commercial. I can't remember what it is. It might be called like The Devil's Somebody. I don't remember. But she's like, eeny, meeny, and then her voice like turns up. It's like, miney. And I was like, oh shit. Like scariest shit ever.
I think that one's about to come out too.
that one's about to come out.
It's the mom, single mom or some shit like that. I don't know.
And I thought that was the Pope's Exorcist, so that's why I watched that movie. Funny movie, whatever. Watched a couple movies. Other than that, I was kicking it, man. Trying to just get better, relax. Once again, my hand still bothering me. So
What's the updated story on the hand?
So the updated story on the hand is I was playing basketball, drove to the hole for a dunk.
With your left hand, you got it like that?
Yeah, I got the
Like,
left hand bounce actually.
Like John Wall?
Pretty much. And out of nowhere, guy comes to try to block my shot, slams my hand up against the backboard, shatters my I'm sorry, what are these called? My metatarsals in my hand.
Is that the correct term, or did you just name a...
I believe it's metatarsals. Smashed my last two. Pretty bad.
That's your story of the week?
Let's talk about these outfits, man.
Nah, man. Let's talk about yours.
Nah. Let's talk about this outfit here.
That's good. Let's run through it quickly because, I just threw something on in the morning.
Fire.
I got Yeezy foam runners. Pay attention to detail for later in the episode. So
People hate those.
they do hate it, and they hate them more when I wear it with Nike socks. So I wore Nike socks today just for the sole reason of, we are going to be talking about Ye. So
Okay. I mean, if any way to do it is that way.
it's the only way. I don't wear these with Adidas socks.
You wore Adidas socks with Jordans, which is really odd.
That's super odd.
Puma socks.
Different.
Mm.
It's because I'm different.
Call yourself different all you want.
Just a fashion demon.
Demon is one way to say it.
I got good fellow jeans, man. I gotta stay loyal. I think I'm at the point where I'm just gonna clip up each and every time I say it and get hold of their HR or their marketing team. There's gonna be a way I'm gonna get some of these jeans.
I believe it. I'm into it, man. Let's do it.
7th anniversary Mag Park shirt.
Another shirt that I do not have. For some reason, you have the away and the home.
They got away and home.
Interesting.
Shout out Sean again.
Interesting.
What else? That's about it.
Target.
I got Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
I got undone hair.
Looks good. I told you when you got the juicy hair.
I forgot to moisturize my face. I was in a hurry.
I mean,
I got lotion on this time.
arms look smooth.
I moisturized everything else but my face.
It'd be like that. You should get face moisturizer. It's
I
a little bit
do.
different. You have face moisturizer?
I do. I just totally forgot.
It sucks because it's so expensive. So like you just left that money.
$40 for a bottle.
It's very expensive. Doesn't make any sense. I'm over it.
What you got on today, man? You got a little heat on today.
Man, today I tried to keep it. What is it? Spring vibes. I don't know.
I guess you could say spring.
Yeah, call it spring. Easter just passed. So on the lid, we're gonna call that out first. I got the Fate crown. He usually does an A-frame hat. This time he did a fitted hat. Super fire. Has the halo above the sea. Has the flower under the sea. Inside, something very different.
Yeah, I don't see that every day.
All pinked out
sweatband.
guts.
Yeah.
Pink sweatband. Pink UV on the back. His signature. For the pin today, pin you got me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that I knew you were gonna like.
You know what I
The
mean?
other three were like kind of like meme-ish.
I always felt like I was got to carry, you know what I mean? So I wore the pin. On the shirt, sweater, I wore the West Side Gun / Isaac Paleo sweatshirt that came out for, I can't remember what album it is, a West Side Gun merch. Rebirth hoodie. On the pants, where these came from, I feel like these came from like H&M or something like that. Super cheap, just had to grab them real quick. And then Old Faithful Storm Blue, Jordan 1, one of my favorites.
That's probably their best blue Jordan.
I'd say so. This is one I never thought I'd have. End up getting it used, worn once for about $150.
That's a steal.
So
Well, those are going for like
exactly.
700 to 800.
Pays to know what you're talking about when others don't.
What about in the ring, man? I see you got a ring today.
I've been meaning to wear this ring for the longest. It's a McQueen ring. It's like a 3-piece, so it has like 3 pieces separated. Super fire ring. I got it for my birthday. I've been meaning to wear it, but Alexander McQueen.
What made you wear it today?
I had it in my bag, and I was like, oh,
Fuck it. Just throw it on.
fuck it. It's on. And then another thing is I came early today. So when you come early, you have so much time to think,
Yeah.
process things. And then when I was here and I was processing things, I thought, I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
You come early here all the time. You're on time. You're ready. You're set up. And I see how hard it is to set up, especially with one hand. So I started appreciating you for a second, and I was like, dang, man, like, this is amazing.
You gotta start appreciating your other hand too.
You're right.
Appreciate both hands.
You know that episode of Rick and Morty? You watch Rick and Morty?
No, I do not.
There's an episode of Rick and Morty where basically he gets like an injection of like this soldier from the 1800s, and he has like this super buff arm. That's how I feel. Just got one arm, and it's taking over. Anyway, man, let's get into it.
What we got today?
The culture. Nigo, Nike, collab.
How's that gonna work out?
So, Nigo, if you guys don't know who he is, founder of Bathing Ape, broke that up about 10 years ago, has since then created Human Made. He is the now founder and CEO of Human Made. He's pushing out super dope clothing, super dope sneakers. Well, in your opinion, not super dope sneakers.
Not really.
Human Made is a fire brand where they put out a lot of dope clothing. I love what they put out. So
I think it's very. I don't think contradictory is the correct word, but it pulls from both brands. He used to work with Adidas, jumping ship. He's doing a collaborative deal with Nike.
he's not jumping ship. He's gonna stay with Nike. I mean, stay with Adidas, and then also do. It has no word of him jumping ship at Adidas. So he's gonna do both of these things.
Both of these things, and Nike is suing Bape.
And Nike is suing Babe, but he has nothing to do with that. That was 10 years ago.
That doesn't like hurt your morals in a way.
Why would it? I
It's
always.
it's something you built, and you're going to something that is suing what you've built. In a
If
way.
you can't beat him, join him. You ever heard that one?
Kind of, but
And
why?
And he beat them.
What do you think? He beat them?
He beat them
How? What do you mean?
because now he has an official silhouette coming out, or maybe a collaboration coming out under their umbrella after he ripped them off for so many years.
He's finally just gonna put the star on the Nike check.
I doubt it.
He's gonna do a Bape stuff.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
He doesn't own that brand anymore. He can't. I feel like he's gonna do something that has to do with hearts. Have the HU for Human Made, obviously. I feel like he's also gonna do something maybe simple, white, red. I could see an Air Force One. I'm hoping an Air Force One. That would make the most sense to me.
Why?
I mean,
I think he's into the runners nowadays because of he switched up the game with the NMDs for Pharrell. Pharrell Human Mades. Those are pretty gas, but they kind of died out a little bit after the NMD runner phase that Adidas had.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to a runner also. I feel like he's gonna go across the spectrum when it comes to all these sneakers.
What if he did a Vormero? That would be gas.
I feel like on here you give out a lot of like jewels, and then I open up my story and Z Sneakers made a mock-up of the Human Made Vomero.
It might just happen, bro.
I could see that. So definitely something I'll be excited for. I think he can go across the spectrum of sneakers or runner, Air Force One, maybe even a basketball shoe. I'm mostly excited about the merch. I feel like every time his clothing is just super immaculate, it's gonna be super trendy and just really dope. So I'm excited to see that. The bags that the Human Made makes, off the charts. So I'm excited to see this.
I definitely got to stay tuned into Human Made because I'm really not. Obviously, you guys know I'm not into clothes like that, as you guys do roast me almost every day about my fits. So I'll definitely stay tuned on what he's gonna make, but I am willing to bet money that he's gonna do a Vormero for the sole fact that Dornbecker just did the Vormero.
I mean, the Vomero's back. The Vomero is back. I mean, that's one thing I've noticed about sneaker culture right now is the comfy shoes are very much in. I feel like everybody's doing 2002R. If you notice the sole for 2002R and the sole for the Vomero, a little bit similar. Like it's very eerily similar. And for the first time, I feel like Nike is stealing like an artist.
How so?
Just by using the soles that other brands are using. I feel like typically other brands are stealing from Nike style, i.e. the Roshi run. Then Adidas went and
The
ran.
Boost.
Literally ran with Human Mades, and all those shoes pretty much are.
Didn't the 350 come out before the Roshi run though?
No,
The original 350.
I don't think so. I really think that the Roshi run was the first of its kind.
Oh, it was. It was definitely a wave right before the 350 hit.
And then
That's why people enjoyed the 350 more.
exactly.
I get what you're saying.
And
now.
from the 350, well, first of all, Nike pretty much revolutionized the knit upper altogether.
I definitely agree. I feel like material wise, they definitely pushed the envelope forward.
Definitely. I would have been
sure.
afraid to wear a knit shoe in the first place, honestly. Everything used to be just leather upper with rubber sole. So that's why people pretty much
Now we're at pure foam.
just foam.
Just foam.
Just foam. I mean, which segues it perfect to the evolution of sneaker
Sneaker
culture, sneakerheads,
sneaker
everything.
lingo.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on the growth of sneaker culture and the future and its trajectory?
There's no stopping it. Not even close. There could be a sneaker recession, but I think a lot of people are gonna still buy, as in a stock term, they're gonna buy the dip and let it rip. So people like who are fortunately they have the money for these sneakers, they're gonna buy a lot. They're gonna buy every pair they ever wished for, Oreo 5s, any 6s, any 7s. The less hype sneakers, but they had its time a couple years ago. They're definitely they're doing it right now for sure. So this sneaker culture is definitely still going up. Some may say that it's oversaturated. That's the thing. And that I think is kind of stupid. You can't oversaturate a culture that's already big for a very long time.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, sneaker culture is definitely commercialized, and it's tough to saturate a market that needs more. You know what I mean? When you think about it, now the spectrum of sneakerheads go from 8 years old all the way, maybe as low as like 7 years old, all the way up to.
It could be down to when you're a baby. You might not remember it, but your parents are putting you in some heat.
I agree. I think when the kids that we see come into the store are typically around like 7-ish, 8-ish.
And they start learning about the history.
Yeah, when they're like interested and they're really like, what is this? What is this? How much does this cost? You know what I mean? Like, so from those guys all the way up to, I would say 50 years old, I feel like a lot of the rappers are around 50 and they're still wearing sneakers. So up to that age, the sneaker spectrum is just kind of went crazy. I think the disconnect between the OGs and the younger generation is important to talk about because you guys don't have. I mean, well, no, I'm not gonna say you guys because you're definitely an old soul historian.
We're the middle childs, I believe.
I would say so, but you don't have that icon to pull from like Jordan, Kobe. You know what I mean? Ken Griffey Jr., P. Rod. These are staples in our time. So people who got into sneakers maybe were in love with basketball, so they love Jordans. People who got into sneakers maybe were in love with skating, so they love P. Rod, and then they seen what he had on. That was the rise of Nike skating. I feel like basketball is the leader of it all, realistically. But then you go into a certain streetwear of things where you brought in Kanye, and I'm talking Kanye Nike years. You brought in Kanye, you brought in Virgil, and just pretty much revolutionized it to where it's got to now.
Where would you mark off? Because I strongly believe I strongly believe I'm in the motion of being of both worlds. So I put myself as the middle child because I've seen the bread fork come out. I've seen
OGs do not call it bread. OGs are just people who have been in the sneaker game for a long time. We call it black and red.
That has came about in the recent weeks. It's just that is bread. That's the other side of me. That's the
like
younger
a slice
side.
of bread.
No, it's the black and red. So you get black.
Why did
you get
Nike
red.
have that commercial with
Boom,
bread
bread.
rising when they were releasing the bread?
Terrible marketing. We'll get back to that. But black and red is you make bread.
Okay. Carry on.
Pretty much. So I've seen that side of thing. OG releases, people lining up, the lineup, sneaker culture, people waiting for days to get a sneaker. Then we have Sneakers app. We got iconic collaborations with Travis Scott, Ye, so on and so forth. We've seen all of that. The hype behind any crazy sneaker you can think of. The only thing that I could think of right now is Travis Scott. So that's for the younger culture of the sneakerhead.
The rise of New Balance.
The rise of New Balance,
The rise of Adidas.
the rise of Adidas in a way, yeah. That's only for the sole fact because of Ye.
100%.
And that's per se the younger culture.
Exactly. Agreed. I mean, that's crazy. I think it's crazy to imagine where we started and then where we are now. I feel like there's a lot of disconnect and hate in between that. And then also just like the value of sneakers, right? Like obviously back in the day, sneakers came out, they released and they were about $120 to $150. Now retail prices have jumped up to about $220 to $250. And we're not just talking like Jordans only, you know. The New Balances are $220 off retail. And then resell, not to mention the dopest sneakers that have came out are at about $1,000.
I feel like even in back in the day, it was still around the same price.
I feel like it was the same price. Well, no, I feel like the highest price point was probably like $700. I remember the Lightning Force used to be around $700, and that was just astronomical to me. And I was like, yo, like I'm never gonna get these. Now that I think back on it, I was like, damn, $700, I could have made that and probably copped that shoe. By the time I was of age to understand that, they were like $2,400. So I agree with you over time, but over time, back in the day, took a little bit more longer to cook. Now, every Travis that comes out immediately is at $700 and then jumps to about $1,000 in a year.
I mean, that's true as well. That, I mean, it goes along with the hype. People who follow the trends, like we said a couple episodes ago. Another thing with the reselling, why it's became so big and there's been large gaps from retail to resell. I mean, that's a part of StockX's fault because they gauge the market in one way, and we think it's kind of normalized for that shoe to be that price.
Definitely. I mean, I think
because we didn't have a StockX back in the day.
True. I agree. I totally agree. I think it's always going to be about what you know and what the seller knows. I've still bought in very exclusive pairs, like I just told you about these Storm Blues, for a low price, simply because maybe the seller did not know what he had on his hands. Oftentimes I shop on eBay and I buy, like during the pandemic, I bought a ton of like 95 basketball shoes, like Scottie Pippens and Penny Hardaways and stuff. And I got them for really cheap because a lot of sellers didn't know what they had on their hands.
For dirt cheap, yeah.
Meanwhile, nowadays, I feel like the younger generation, the hype beasts, the guys who are the resellers are definitely like just putting a high value on something just because, right? I.e. the Tiffany's or the threes. You can immediately project they're going to be worth $700 for the Tiffany's and $500 for the Reimagined. That's literally the price point out the gate. And I can easily see the Reimagined right now, currently, where are they sitting at? About $500?
4 to 5, yeah.
4 to 5.
4 to 5, most believable.
Tiffany's astronomically $1,400, $1,300. I mean, I don't know. Most people would say the game is done because of certain sneakers like this. I feel like the game has got the feeling back. The feeling is being restored in the game 100,000%. So I got some things to talk about that have to do with restoring the game. But I'm going to leave the best for last. And I'm going to start with, some good stuff. So I was just talking about the Tiffany. So it's only been 3 months. Nike, New Balance. Some would say Adidas. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't say anything from Adidas.
Puma.
I don't think Puma got anything this crazy this year at all.
Flames.
Well, Puma came out this year.
I mean, you can always call LaMelo Ball a good shoe. But
I mean, they're not up to par with any of the recent releases that Nike's been coming out with.
I agree. I was just trying to throw them in there because you like Puma. Maybe you want a sponsor from Puma. Who knows? But Nike definitely dropped the Tiffany this year. Fire. Candidate for Shoe of the Year. They also dropped SB4. Candidate for Shoe of the Year. They also dropped Reimagined 3s. Candidate for Shoe of the Year. All three of these, absolute heat. Don't forget these right here. Do you know about these? New Balance. Kith. What is it called? New Balance 993MI USA. Kith Spring 101 Women's.
When those come out?
I believe they came out last week, and stateside they'll be coming out next week.
You're putting that in the contention for shoe of the year?
This is definitely in contention for shoe of the year.
I think the Action Bronsons are better than those.
The Action Bronsons are also in there for shoe of the year. If you look up the resale for this shoe right now, guess how much it's going for?
$300.
$1,000.
I mean, it's not out here in the States, though.
When it comes stateside, you can guarantee
It's
it'll be
going to
$500.
astronomically price drop.
It'll be $500. Guaranteed.
See, I'm the type of guy that I can't face the fact that New Balances are reselling.
Me neither.
I
But
can't.
that's a part of the new game.
I can't fathom the thought.
It's
See, and that's my old side. See, I can't. I just can't compute why.
limited, color blocking, designer.
I can't think why.
I totally understand.
I can't put a New Balance for sneaker of the year.
I mean, I understand that. I agree with you. I think
Maybe I'm brainwashed by Nike, Adidas, maybe. Just maybe.
so. In sneaker of the year, so what's your sneaker of the year still? Let's go there.
The SB4 is my sneaker of the year right now.
SB4 sneaker of the year. I like that.
It's a new colorway, crazy collaboration. And it's just a fire shoe.
I think it's blasphemous to put a green Jordan as shoe of the year. But
That's your personal
But
opinion.
I totally understand where you.
The
guys
reason
come from.
why I can't put a Reimagined 3 so far this year, it's already been back. It's been back.
It's been retro.
4 or 5 times already.
Agreed.
Tiffany Air Force. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the shoe, but I definitely did try them on. So, guys, I'm gonna say this on camera. I'm using my flip flop card. Those are fire. On feet, they're tough. So
Very tough.
but I can't fathom the thought of something that's just 2 colors.
It's fire. Those are flames. I ain't gonna lie. I love the Tiffany Force.
They're right there. They're top 3 so far this year. Other than that, I can't name. I mean, I guess Action Bronson just for the respect for New Balance.
Those are fire.
And
Both
Adidas-
of them.
Adidas have dropped nothing this year for me.
Those 2 New Balance from Action Bronson are super fire. I'm loving those. Adidas hasn't dropped anything good this year. Oh no, don't do that.
Don't say a Samba.
I'm gonna say a Samba because that's a part of what I'm talking about right now is restoring the feeling. The Samba is coming back hard, i.e. what you say. You know, one thing that's important about the comeback is also we can't forget the TikTok wave. The TikTok wave has people wearing mids, Sambas,
New Balances.
New Balances, MSCHF, a ton of MSCHF. With that being said, I feel like they're restoring the feeling when it comes to Adidas, when they got us wearing the Samba and they're doing a Gucci collab, things like that. Like, it just makes it a vast space for all sneakerheads and everyone to be involved. You know what I mean? I feel like there was a time where exclusivity was so important. Now it's spread it out to where everybody can do it. You know what I mean? Like, you can be in a Samba and be fly. You can be in a New Balance and be fly. You used to not be able to be in a New Balance and be fly. That used to not be a thing.
He used to be a strong dad shoe.
That used to be an IBM computer guy. That was like the nerd in school. Like, they made fun of you if
And
you
look
wore
at
New
them
Balances.
now.
And look at them now.
Fashion icons.
Look at y'all now. I used to wear New Balance in high school because I couldn't really afford it like that. And guess what? That was about $150 then. Guess how much they are now? $1,000.
You were an IBM computer guy?
I was.
This guy. You were falling into it?
I was definitely a little bit.
I mean, TikTok has everybody by a chokehold though. So
Agreed.
that goes for any social media. TikTok just made everything else more acceptable because how the F4U page works. It's whatever you enjoy. So you're gonna see people wearing Sambas. You're gonna see people wearing New Balances, 550s, 900s, 990s, stuff like that.
That's crazy.
So
I mean,
it made it even more acceptable for what you wear, because there's cliques, there's groups, there's trends. Kind of in a way, I think trends are dying.
I don't know, man. The next sneaker right here I got is the Cortez Air Max 95. This shoe, I mean,
The
It's-
Agen Storm.
it's never died. The Air Max 95 has continuously ran through every sneaker culture.
This looks different. Like it looks built different.
I mean, it's not really built different. It does have a woven upper instead of the mesh upper. They did put like a little lining around. I'm gonna zoom in for you real quick, but See this little lining, the little black paneling right there? They did add that
It's built different.
with the leather. It's built a bit different.
The midsole flares out a little bit like a 700 a little bit.
I don't know about that. I feel like that's the OG midsole there.
Do we have?
We do have some Air Max up there, but that's like the OG. I'm gonna let you know that's like the OG.
Nah.
The lacing system, they changed it up, but this had Europe and New York in a blaze. They dropped this shoe and pandemonium.
That colorway is fire for sure.
All three of the colorways are fire. We're gonna put them all up there. There's like a tan and green one, and then there's another one. I feel like it's like pinkish or reddish. And then this one here, super fire, restoring the feeling. The Air Max is alive and well. The pandemonium for the Air Max that I seen, it was astonishing to see. I couldn't believe it. Under that, I have a Samba, which is back to what I was talking about, restoring the feeling. Sambas are fire.
Sambas are a drop.
You got to call it like you see it. But then, I don't know. It's officially mainstream. I feel like the sneaker culture is officially at the highest point. I mean, it can probably go even higher than this.
There's nowhere near the highest point.
I feel like it's at the highest point for the OGs. The OGs are like,
Not even
like,
close.
I can't believe
Not even close.
my grandmother and my baby are interested in these sneakers.
Not even close.
Why do you feel it's not close?
It's just not close. We need more shoes, more collabs,
You think
more
we
colorways.
need more? We were just talking about how we need less collabs.
I don't care. I mean, your point is you want more exclusivity. I care for it's just being available to buy for retail.
I think that a lot of the colorways that are dropping are just gonna die, though. It makes no sense.
There's no
a
way.
University Blue Jordan 1 is gonna die.
No, it's not.
It's not gonna last It's not gonna last.
It's gonna last a test
It will
of time.
not.
A
It will
Chicago
not.
is gonna last a test.
We're
of
not
time.
gonna.
A white
Chicago. I feel like I agree. The Chicago is the last dance, the last of the dying breed.
No, there's
It
no
is.
way.
All the OGs are coming back, and I feel like the OGs are the last of the dying breed. When you drop new colorways, it just kind of changes the game. It changes the idea of the shoe.
You could say that, but it's evolving. It's not dying. It's evolving. Because if you drop a Royal, it's gonna sell out. If you drop a white cement, a black cement, it's gonna sell out. If you sell a shattered backboard, even though that's not super OG, but it's gonna sell out.
But see, that would go to the term of new OGs, right? The new shattered backboard is a part of the new OGs. I just don't feel like the sneakers that have came out since then have been a part of that new OG era. They just don't have that feeling, and it's been too microwave. It's came out too fast.
If that's the case, I mean, Mike only played in so many colorways. He played in a Bulls jersey for 14, 15 years.
And then he always had a blue colorway. He always had a red colorway, and he always had a black colorway.
And none of those are going to die. So
the new ones are going to die. The new retros are going to die. Guaranteed.
I don't see it happening.
I understand. Hopefully we get into a space. I mean, I feel like what Yeezy is doing, so it's crazy like the sneaker just evolving. What Yeezy is doing has definitely evolved us out of sneakers altogether and put us in foam. There's a new foam sneaker out. I can't think of the name of it, but a new foam sneaker out I showed you the other day.
It looks like a
boat.
Like a boat. Like something you
like
swim
a speedboat or something.
Like
a flipper.
Like a flipper, yeah. That's what
Drake just dropped a flipper.
It's horrendous.
I mean, it's a flipper. The point is that I feel like we're kind of, you're right, evolving out of this silhouette of sneakers, leather, and rubber to just foam. And I feel like the foam look, the foam feeling, the accessibility, the access, the biodegradableness, if that's a word, of the shoe.
It's a whole different lane of shoe, though. It's not even a shoe. It's a clog.
And that's the future of sneakers.
Nah. We got sneakers that released in 88 originally. Still here. 30, 40 years later.
30, 40 years later, imagine what that clog is going to be.
It might be done.
That clog won't be here, but a new clog will be.
Because it's more so for the comfort and a slide. Those are going to, stand the test of time. Shit,
100%.
maybe by then we will be bare feet. but it's gonna be super comfy.
Did you see the bare feet shoes?
No. Oh,
Very racist. Very racist. It was shoes that I don't think they were shoes. I think they were prosthetics.
yeah, they're for amputated.
Exactly. And they're broadcasted like they were bare feet sneakers. Terrible joke. Terrible joke. However, last thing on restoring the feeling, we didn't do releases today because we kind of like did another podcast immediately. I appreciate you for that. So we just did this. And a sneaker that's coming out, Z Sneakerhead just announced Jordan 17 Low. Flames.
Straight bricks.
Jordan 17
These
Low.
are gonna be so bricky. It's gonna be so insane.
I hope they brick so hard. First of all, I hope they come out with OG colors. So then they can brick so hard that I can get 2 pair. And then you guys can think back on it and be like, dang, that shoe was ahead of its time.
No.
Very classic shoe.
It's not a classic.
Dynamite. I love it.
17s are straight bricks.
These
bro.
are fire.
I would wear those on the court.
Exactly.
That's literally it.
I'm wearing these on the court and with a fit.
No.
You got it jacked up. I hope
See,
they
that's
come with
the
the
thing,
dust
though.
bag.
Nah, I do agree with what you say. Retro color, new colorways, they be dying. The OGs, they're gonna stand the test of time, like you said, because those shoes, the shoes that are on the screen right now, straight disgust.
These are retros.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're
And Mike wore these.
big disgust.
Mike wore these in the All-Star game. Mike wore the Lightning 17s in the All-Star game. They came back out with a Soulfly. It was all yellow. Not that great. But this, if they drop this, the Lightning again, or the Carolina, I need both of them. Otto, please. Otto. I just hope they're not crazy astronomical prices like $250 or something like that.
They are.
I feel like there was $210 when they came
They're
out.
gonna hit you with the briefcase again.
These didn't have a briefcase. They had dust bags only. They had dust bags only.
Which
so
17 had a briefcase?
the high tops. High top 17s with the briefcase.
They're gonna hit you with a briefcase come around this time, and it's gonna hit you on the top of the head for a 400 retail.
I'm copping. Otto, buddy. You'll catch me in these 17s for
They're
sure.
gonna be on StockX for $220 the week after.
Shout out Z Sneakerheads for leaking that information for us.
I hope it's a lie.
He's came a long way. He never misses. Speaking of never missing, you want to get into this topic? It's a little sad. A little sad.
It's very depressing, and we'll just talk about it. Recent news just came out. Mikey Williams, one of the best high school players out today. He is signed to Memphis College, Memphis University.
He also had a Puma deal.
Also had a Puma deal, and he recently bought a house straight out of high school. Bought a house straight out of high school, and he got hit for 5 counts for a deadly assault with a weapon.
5 counts of just him.
Just him. I think there's reports that they did a drive-by shooting.
This was a drive-by.
It's just so dumb. What time was it?
So it says this was in Memphis.
12:14. Yeah.
No, that's the time he was released from prison. I don't remember what time it was. All it says is ranked 34 in ESPN's listed 100 recruits, 2003 class, paid $50,000 in bond in release. He was released at 12:14 a.m. on Friday morning. I'm pretty sure he only had to pay half of that bond. And
Okay, let's face the truth of it and what could not be true, because they tend to spin everything in the media.
Okay.
Is there a chance that he wasn't even involved and he was probably forced into the situation? Per se, let's go back to the biggest one of probably of all time, the Allen Iverson situation, where he was stuck in a bowling alley and they just straight up brawled. You think he was stuck in this situation?
I mean, that goes to the topic of how are you stuck in a car where your homies have weapons? See, the thing is when you one of my rules is if I get in the car with you, let me know what's going on. You know what I mean? So if I get in the car and you got a gun, let me know. Yo, I got the strap with me. Yo, if we get in the car and you got some drugs, yo, let me know. I got these drugs with me. Because then I could then make the decision to get in or out of the car. Another thing is that when you are this kind of a prospect, you just bought a house, you're signed a Puma deal. What are you doing? Why are you hanging out with these guys? obviously these guys are not good news. And then the other part of it is his idol, Spectrum. You got to think about it. Jawick. Boom, 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 boom. That might be an influence on a lot of what these young guys are doing. I like the fact that you brought up Iverson because even though he was just stuck in that bowling alley brawling, he was brawling. He was fighting. He was fighting.
I don't think he was.
Okay.
He wasn't.
Okay.
Suppose he was trying to get out. He's trying to leave.
I was just trying to get out too.
I feel like people at that like stature, bro, like there's just no way you should be stuck in that type of situation, bro. Like,
and your homie should say, get out of here.
like, yeah, like your homies gotta, don't let themselves put you in that situation.
I don't know.
It's literally like mind-boggling to me. I can't fathom it, bro. Like, why?
Weeks earlier, Sean Kemp in a drive-by, doing a drive-by. These guys are still human beings, you know what I mean? One thing about basketball and music is growing up in poverty. So growing up in poverty, you end up around a lot of things like guns and drugs. And it's not fair. However, it is a reality. So he got mixed up with the wrong crowd, obviously, and put him in this situation. Sad to say, he is going to be going to court soon. They say he can be doing up to 5 years. So,
bro had an NBA career ahead of him, man. I hope it doesn't. It's not true.
He still has an NBA career ahead of him.
4 years.
You're right. I mean,
and they're gonna look at you as a 22-year-old rookie that only has high school experience.
I mean, on the lighter side of things, he obviously wasn't going to be a good player anyway. He was going to probably be maybe a good facilitator because
you're crazy.
He obviously can't shoot.
This dude has bounced out the mother freaking gym,
but he can't shoot the ball.
Anybody can learn how to shoot the ball.
He just missed these guys. Nobody was hitting this drive-by.
Wow. That was crazy. There's no quote. Wow. That was good. You got me with that one.
So, I don't know. Prayers up to this guy, Mikey Williams or Mike Williams. I think that obviously he's going to beat this case. If he only has 5 years, he can cut it down to about a halfway. If, you know what I mean? I don't know. Situation happens that it wasn't his gun or somebody decides to take Somebody decides to take those charges. Your homies.
If I was the homies, I'd take
Get
those
behind
charges.
this one, y'all.
Yeah.
Get behind this one.
Yeah, that's a payday.
Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get behind this one. Take those charges for your boy. Let him get to the league. Let him get y'all right. Because
it's only 5 years.
Yeah, it's only 5 years. I mean,
you sound crazy.
The homies might get a little more than 5.
Oh yeah,
the homies might get a little more than 5, but it's cool. You gotta take that. You gotta take that rap for the homie who trying to be cool. You know what I mean? Stop trying to be cool, man. If you play basketball, let the people who do dangerous things be dangerous. You should be dangerous on the court and on the court alone. That is all.
Nah, that's all I got. I hope it wasn't true.
I hope it wasn't true. Speaking of danger, we're about to go into danger right now. For our music topic today, top 5 Kanye albums of all time. Now, hold up. Before we go in, let me tell you the criteria. So musically, sonically, influence, sustainability, and then awards. Top 5 Kanye albums.
How do you want to go about this? 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Go 1 to 5.
I'm going to have to say my dark twisted fantasy.
Number 1?
On each spectrum. Music, influence, awards. What was the other topic? Influence.
Influence, yep.
It starts out crazy with dark fantasy. Then it probably has his best song of all time. His most commercial song of all time with Power. That had the whole world in a chokehold for 5+ years.
And then you got that Cole song that he want to put out, and he can't because
he has
tried to diss
Does
Kanye.
He have Runaway on that album?
Runaway's on this album.
Holy shit.
All of the Lights.
Devil in a New Dress.
Bro,
dog.
All of the Lights interlude is also really amazing. I don't know if you listen
All
to
of
that.
the interludes on that album is
amazing.
It's amazing.
Monster.
Monster. I think it only dies down into the last two songs.
The last song is Lost in the World. I do like that song though still. And then Who Will Survive in America. Didn't they put See Me Now on there as a bonus? But as of late, they took that off. I'm agreeing. What's number 2?
Okay, number 2, I might have to go with probably Graduation. Classic album.
One of the greatest
Can't
Kanye
go
albums
wrong.
of all time.
I think Kanye will always have an influence on music at all times.
At all times?
At all times. He's always pushed the envelope forward in each and every of his albums.
I agree. This one has Good Morning.
Come on. Dog.
Champion.
Dog.
Stronger.
Dog.
I Wonder.
Dog.
Good Life featuring T-Pain.
Dog.
Can't Tell Me Nothing. Barry Bonds featuring Lil Wayne. Drunken Hot Girls. Flashing Lights. Everything I Am. The Glory. Homecoming. Big Brother. And Good Night.
Number 3, I might have to go Late Registration.
I'm not mad at that.
I think the Late Registration is right there. There's just so many, man.
There's so many. Late Reg is fire.
Which one? What those got?
Late Reg has Wake Up, Mr. West. Another
That's a
Waking
classic.
Up song. Heard 'Em Say featuring Adam Levine. It's classic. Touch of Sky featuring Lupe Fiasco. Gold Digger featuring Jamie Foxx. Drive Slow. On My Way Home. Crack Music. Roses. Bring Me Down. Addiction. Diamonds Are Forever. We Major. Hey Mama. Celebration. Gone. And Late. And all the skits in there are super fire.
Damn, I think that one's too high for me now. Now that I think about it.
Late Registration?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I must drop that one to 4.
Okay. So what's number 3?
Either College Dropout or Life of Pablo. I can't think of it.
Ooh, both of those are good.
Are we gonna count Watch the Throne?
You can count Watch the Throne. I played that this morning to set up.
Oh man. Then there's Ye. Then there's
I'm not putting you in there.
then there's the one album that I really couldn't mess with was Yeezus.
Fire.
And people think it was just so crazy.
Crazy.
I think the Life of Pablo is a little overrated.
You
Just
think
a little.
The Life of Pablo is overrated?
Over College Dropout.
Perfect. Let me get you this real quick.
Bruh.
Ultralight Beam, Father Stretch My Hands, Famous, Feedback, Low Lights, Highlights, Freestyle, 4.
Cause when you
I Love Kanye Waves, FML, Real Friends, and Wolves.
oh man. Yeah, never mind. Let me retract that statement. I think that one's at number 3.
He was in his bag on this.
Late Registration 4. Then I might go Watch the Throne 5.
So,
I'm leaving out College Dropout, bruh.
yeah, that's blasphemous.
Could you read that one out again?
Your list? Or,
The-
or you want the College Dropout?
College Dropout.
College Dropout says, I mean, these are classics, absolute classics. The intro, We Don't Care, Graduation Day, All Falls Down, I'll Fly Away, Spaceships, Jesus Walks, Never Let Me Down, Get 'Em High, Workout Plan, The New Workout Plan, Slow Jams, Breathe In, Breathe Out, School Spirit 2, Little Jimmy, 2 Words, Through the Wire, Family Business, and Last Call.
I think I'm gonna stick to my word.
Okay.
Watch
So-
the Throne at 5.
Watch the Throne at 5. So that's Dark Twisted Fantasy 1.
If we're gonna do Kanye solo albums, then I'll throw in College Dropout.
It's crazy. I mean, I like that list. I like that list. We'll put your list back up again and go from there. I think that's a cool list. I'm not opposed to putting a collab album in there just because it's Jay-Z. Can't go wrong with Jay-Z.
I mean, you can't, but if we're talking about solely Kanye West albums, then we have to talk about his solo albums. That's like putting Drake's and Future's album in Drake's top 5. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, Drake's. I probably would put a Future album in there though for Drake because he doesn't really have that many top albums.
Stick
like that.
and go back. All right, do your top 5 before you
Kanye
say
top
some dumb
5
shit.
albums. Number 1, I agree with you. I'll say Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is probably the greatest album of all time. One of them of all time. Then you have College Dropout. I will put College Dropout first. I feel like it's 1A, 1B. The first album that anyone ever does is always their masterpiece. I was gonna say monster piece.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think so. I think the first album name a first album that was trash. Anyone's.
Drake's.
Drake's first album was not trash.
So I was So Far Gone.
So Far Gone is absolute flames.
It's not his.
Go ahead and say that take.
It's not his best work.
Let's get us viral.
It's Drake's first album was pretty bad.
So Far Gone?
I think So Far Gone.
That's not his first album though. That's a mixtape. So it's like Kendrick did the Kendrick Lamar EP and he did Overly Dedicated. Those are the two Drake albums. He did Comeback Season and he did So Far Gone. Then he dropped the album.
Take Care was his first album? That's
yes.
what you're saying?
First studio album.
I wouldn't say that.
That's for Drake's first studio album, Take Care. There's others beats on So Far Gone.
Then I don't know.
So, back to what I was saying. Where was I? I said Dark Twisted Fantasy, College Dropout.
You said 1A, 1B.
1A, 1B.
I feel like, you can't do that.
You can. It's the
You
first
can't
album.
do
Throw your
Top
motherfucking
5
hands,
Kanye
get them
albums.
high.
No, you got to make a decision.
All right, cool.
College
Dropout number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm going to go with, this is crazy. I think I'm going to go with, for number 3, Graduation. Graduation at 3, that was the album that definitely shaped a time in my life. It was definitely like the Murakami rise. People don't really realize that like Murakami was already hot, but like that Graduation cover kind of pushed it a little further. So I was definitely into that. Graduation Super Fire album. I love all the songs on there. Top to bottom, I'll play it through. And then I'll go to Late Registration at 4. And then this is where it gets foggy for me because
There's so many great albums.
there's so many great albums, but I'm going to say 808s and Heartbreaks because 808s and Heartbreaks is such a revolutionary album. Without that album, you don't get Drake So Far Gone. So, yeah, I'm going to go 808s and Heartbreaks at 5. And then I'm going to say 1B, 1B or all those things.
You got to make a cutting board. Someone's got to be on the cutting
That's it
board.
right there. That's it right there. So I guess Yeezus is on the cutting board, but I like that album. I guess Life of Pablo's on the cutting board. I like that album. And then both the 2 new Dondas.
So what's your 5th?
My 5th is going to be 808s and Heartbreaks.
Wait, so you said...
Graduation. College Dropout.
You haven't said... Yeah, you did.
Graduation, College Dropout. I'm sorry. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Graduation, College Dropout. Number 4 is going to be Late Registration. And 5, 808s and Heartbreaks.
I feel like you switched that word up again.
What you mean?
You said...
My Beautiful.
Okay. Then you said...
Graduation. College Dropout. Graduation. I can't remember what. No, I mean, I'll tell you though. It's Late Registration, and then 808s.
Damn, you really cut out Life of Pablo, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Life of Pablo was like that was for me. Life of Pablo was the he was crossing over. He didn't know if he was Christian. He was trying to like do both. He said that was a gospel album. I like the Kanye y'all don't remember, but Kanye mapped out what he was gonna do. He said he was going to drop College Dropout. Then he said he was going to drop Late Registration. Then he said he's going to drop Graduation. So those 3 automatically are in my top 5 always. Because just if you listen to them all together, that's the story.
I mean, it's a trilogy-like album.
Exactly. And then can't beat Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's best album of all time.
One of the best albums of all time.
The best album of all time.
I don't know about that.
And then 808s, like I said, revolutionary. Without 808s, you don't get Drake. You don't get a lot of the stuff that happened. There was death of auto-tune at that time, and Kanye went against Hove and did that. So, top 5 Kanye albums.
Cutting out Life of Pablo is crazy.
It be like that. I'm not a millennial.
You are a millennial. What
I
are you
am, but I'm
talking
not
about?
like
What the
you.
fuck?
You little fucking nerds. I'm not you guys. All right. Anyway,
just know you don't like good music, bro. It's all good.
Some people would say you don't like good music. I really want to put Yeezus in there too, because Yeezus was definitely genre bending. Genre bending.
I guess.
Yeezus. Fire. What are your top 5 Kanye albums, guys? Drop those in the comments. This guy's top 5, mediocre.
All I know is The Weeknd is dropping very soon. So
What do you think about that snippet? What was that for?
Oh my God, it was godlike.
What was it?
Ascending. I think it was for a show coming up on HBO Max.
Terrible.
That's gonna be a fire show.
Is The Weeknd good live?
Great live.
Does he have auto-tune on his mic?
No,
I'm gonna put auto-tune on my mic.
it's hard. We gotta do a whole episode of autotune,
That'd be hard.
or like in a super deep voice,
That'd be fire too.
or in a super high voice.
Or no, the deep voice though, but like the Exorcist voice.
Ooh, that'd be pretty
Welcome
fire.
back to another episode of the Fair Game Podcast. Anyway, guys, this has been another episode of the Fair Game Podcast. I am C,
This is Cash.
and we are out. Once again, you are the main character in your story. Dress like it.
Like, subscribe. I love all you guys.
Bow.